All right, what is up, guys? I want to do a pop-up training as a way to show any user, your team member, and just to go through some of the very basic things that you need to do in ACR, from getting your leads nurture everything from top to bottom and how I use it, and just really making sure that to keep the process as simple as possible. So what I want to do is that I want to walk you through exactly what happens when a lead is coming in or going through the whole process of setting up a Facebook ad. I'm not going to show you how you set up a Facebook ad, but I'll show you how you link the Facebook ads into the ACR platform, bring the leads in, and then managing that particular lead from opting in to making sure that we are nurturing them, contacting them using the sales prompts, and then booking them into an appointment, and then going all the way through to see exactly how this particular lead will react based on different actions I'm doing. Okay. So that way, you as a user can utilize this training as a way to learn how to look at some of the key areas that you need to do to make sure you're able to get the most out of the platform. So let's start from the beginning. If you want to get any information about how you use a platform, always go into the start here training here, because this will give you all the probably the most basic things you need to know to use a platform. It's got video training in here, and then it also has the action steps you can take when it comes to the Facebook mapping of forms, updating triggers, and so on and so on. So you got to want to make sure you follow all these. I'll probably say only the top 4 here are probably the only videos you need to watch. They're very short videos. They're not very long. It will give you enough understanding how you can use it. Okay, so make sure you do that. If you do any other support, make sure you go into the help desk and also using the widgets down here to give you information. So make sure you spend time in browsing through, going through all these different areas, and make sure you're able to get the information you need as a user. Okay, so let's dive into it. For most of you, you're all going to be running some some sort of Facebook ads, and it's going to be coming into the platform. So this is what you will need to do. Once you go through the whole process of creating the Facebook ads, then you need to make sure all your settings are connected inside your ACR platform, which we normally will do on onboarding. But it's a good practice just to make sure you go into your settings and go to your integrations, and then you go into the part about Facebook ads. You want to make sure you've got the ad account connected, got the right Facebook pointing to it, and then you want to come up here to make sure you map your Facebook form. So in here, you'll be able to see the form that you've got that's been or the ad you've created. You want to make sure you map that field because it's super important. Again, this is in video 2, showing you how you map it. I want to save that. And then I'm going to make sure my workflow is turned on under my automation, which again, these are by default. If you're only using one form, then this will work perfectly. You don't need to change too many things. You want to go into the one that says Facebook lead source with the nurture, or Facebook lead source. This will be different ones. You want to make sure the top of the trigger, the Facebook lead form is submitted, and you also want to make sure this is published. Okay, so once this is published, it's going to have the ability to bring the leads into the platform in here, and then go through all the things that you need to see when it comes to being able to get the leads updated in your pipeline stages. What I'm going to do, I am going to just turn this one off so you can see exactly what would happen when I go through the whole process of getting a Facebook coming into the platform. Now, let's go to the dashboard and let's go into the opportunities. This is where you're going to spend most of your time when the lead comes in, where you're going to be looking at your opportunity pipeline and managing all your leads through different stages. As best practice, if you're launching a Facebook ads, it's really important for you to make sure you test it before you exit the platform. So I have a developer's Facebook tool. You can see the link up here. It says, tools, lead ad testing. This is where you can come in here. you want to make sure you select the page you got, and also you're selecting the form you have, which is this one, which is the one that you saw over here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to test whether or not this connection between Facebook and ACR is live by creating a dummy lead. Once this has been done, you can see it says the test lead has been sent, and I'm going to come back to my ACR platform, and straight away you can see the lead has come into the pipeline. If this hasn't come in here, then you need to make sure you go through the steps again to make sure everything is connected correctly. So this is what's going to happen. A lead will come into your pipeline. It will opt in. You will then get notifications on your phone, email, and all these things should be done as part of the onboarding, making sure everything is connected. You get notification on your phone that there's a brand new lead. Then the next step will be obviously to either contact them, or they may actually book a call. But I'm going to assume that, I'm going to call them, I'm going to speak to them, I'm going to try and get in touch with them and make sure that I go through the whole process and go through the next step. So this is what I'll be doing when I'm working with the platform. I'll click on the name. I always like to work in this particular view because it allows me to see the status of the lead, allows me to see the name. I can very quickly add phone numbers in there if I wanted to, so I can type in a phone number in here just to call them. I can, while I'm talking to them on the phone, I can update the details in here. Everything that happens in the platform, you can actually update all these information, and you can do this very, very quickly in this view. You can see it's already in a nurture over here. You can see it's gone into the nurturing sequence. You already have all the details in here that it's going to get SMSs, email to nurture them. So once I dialed this particular person, I'll usually always like to have the next part of my window open, which is my sales call folder. This allows me to look at, what actually happens when I'm having a conversation with them. So if I have 10 people I need to be calling, I will dial the first number, and then if they don't answer, I'll go into the sales call drop down. I'll simply go no answer. And what that's going to happen is going to log this particular attempt in one of the automations and put them onto a nurture to say, hey, I'll just try contacting you. We didn't get any response. Would you like to book a phone call? So this is part of this particular automation. Inside the folder says automation and sales call workflow. So if I go into here, you can see 1.3 sales call, no answer phone call. It's one person is in there. And you can see that I've come into the wait period. I'm going to push this one through to show you what would actually happen. It's going to move through the pipeline. And if I refresh this, you can see I pushed it through. It has gone through the SMS1 follow-up, update the field as call attempt, and also remove it from the workflow. So we can see this contact has gone through this particular workflow. And if they got a phone number, they will be receiving this particular text. All right. So let's go back to the opportunities, and let's click on the name, and you'll see there's a message that has been attempted to go out as a way to touch base with them. All right. So this is obviously not the correct one here, but this is a demo account. But normally, what we'll say that you'll ask them blah blah blah. All the details will be in there, and getting the book a phone call in here. Now, what will actually happen here on the left-hand side, you can see that an attempt of one has been added. Now, let's say I have called them a couple of times, and then I've finally gotten onto a conversation, and now I am going to sell them onto either a trial, or I want to attempt to get them into an appointment. So what I'll be doing in this particular case is that I will be going on the right-hand side here under where it says appointment, and I'm going to book them into a in-person consult because I've spoken to them. They're happy to come in here and do an orientation or do a consult. I'm going to select the calendar that I want to come into, and then I'm going to book them in one of the appointments I have got available. So I'm going to book them into Thursday, and I'm going to book it at 4:30. Book an appointment, and straight away you can see that it has gone into the studio appointment workflow. And then if I go into the opportunity now, you see that this dummy will move to the next appointment in a minute because it's probably on a bit of a wait step at the moment. So I'm just going to come in here again. Again, I'm just showing you guys live at the moment. Normally you can just click on the button. You don't have to worry about it. It will just happen on the back end. All right. So you can see in here, it's already in the studio appointment reminder workflow. So it will move through this step by confirming their booking, and at the same time will also then move them into the appropriate. You don't have to drag them. You don't have to move it. It will just happen on its own. That will just happen very, very quickly. Now, I want to make sure all these campaigns are turned on so we can go through the whole process from beginning to the end. Now, if I go back to opportunity here, and I'll refresh my screen. And let's wait a little bit. And let's go into the automation. Okay, you can see the contact has gone, and you can see there's been moved into the studio appointment. So straight away, what has happened is that, again, when you book an appointment, they'll move into that studio appointment automatically and put it onto automatic nurture. So you don't have to go and move anything else except just clicking those icons or booking the person into a calendar. Now, the person will come in on the day, and I'll always like to have this particular screen open. So when I'm doing the consultation, I can go through all the questions, I can go through all the things I normally do with the appointment. And then once they are wanting to continue on, you've got a few options here. You can either move them into a lost lead because they didn't want to continue, or you might want to put them onto a particular program that you've got, which is a 7-day free trial or 28-day, either one. So I have spoken to this particular prospect and say, thank you very much. I want to continue on the 28-day program. So I'll go through all my normal processes. I'll simply select 28 days, and I'm going to select when that person is going to start. And that person is going to start next Monday. I'm going to put this in here. And then this will automatically put them onto the client journey workflow that is going to nurture them and put them into the reminders and emails that we send them out as part of the client journey for the first 28 days. You can see that person is now in this particular workflow. And from here, you'll be able to see that it's sitting in this particular workflow, just waiting for all the different details to go through. I'm going to push you through manually so you can see what's going to happen next. Because I selected a 28-day product, what it's doing is actually adding that person into the 28-day nurture by itself. So you don't need to do anything else except just to click that particular icon, and you can see 28 days. And you can also see further down here, there's a person waiting in there. It's waiting for the start date because I've set an event start date over here. It's waiting for the event start date, which is the date was set next Monday, and you will wait till the day before to send them the first message as a welcome message and welcome them to their sessions. Now, this will all go all the way through until, the last week. It will nurture them. You will send them information about how they can get the most out of the program. And then during this process, you're going to do your best to sell them and upgrade them into ongoing membership. Then what's going to happen is that we'll go to our CRM. We use Zoda as the integrated CRM where it's natively integrated with the software. So I'll go to my Zoda CRM in here. And because this particular contact has already been entered into our pipeline, it will automatically be part of the Zoda platform as a contact. So what you're going to see, and you may have your own CRM, which is perfectly fine. You need to make sure you enter that into your CRM so they can get classes and get access to it. But this part of the process is automatic on our end because we already manage all these things and put them all integrated and it's all linked up together. And you'll see under this section here, a brand new contact has been created in here, and this person is now ready to go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create that person as a member because that person is going to, I'm going to make sure this is going to go all the way through. Yep. So this is a testing account, so go all the way through. I want to make sure this person is in a one stage. Oops, yeah. I'm going to assign them a membership. I don't think I got the valid email. I think, yeah, I don't think I got the right details in here because don't have the right contacts. Okay, so I'm going to need to update this. I'm going to try. Let's have a look what I can do here. I'm going to just set this one up. Give me 1 second. Okay, I just had to update my email to make sure it's a valid email. So what I've done is I've gone in here and I've updated my details, and I have gone through and make sure I've got the right the correct details in here. And I've gone in there and mark as 1. So this is asking me to go through all the process or entering my credit card details and making sure I allow me to enter them as a test card. And then, oops, what's happened here? And from here, I'm going to submit. Oops, wrong one. Just pause this for a minute. Make sure to push it all the way through. Okay, so I have successfully added a card details onto that particular contact. And what happens is that this person will now be added into a package. I have got a plan in here, and I'm going to make sure that I put them as a member. There's a plan in place, and I'm going to press add. So whatever platform, whatever CRM you may be using, you may have the ability to go in here and make sure that you get the right details in here. And once it's all done, what's going to happen is that this becomes an active member. And if we go back to the opportunity pipeline, you will now, one, see that that particular person will be moved into the membership stage in a minute. I need to make sure I refresh it. And normally what you would do is that if you do sign up a member, then you want to drag them into that membership partner, because that particular action of moving them into this particular this pipeline here is going to activate the membership welcome email. So you're going to go in that particular action by moving into here is going to add this particular person into the membership workflow. So you see that you'll come into this particular action here, and it's going to have the membership pipeline move into here. It's going to remove them from all the other workflows, and will send them a welcome email. Okay, it's going to mark them as a 1, and it will continue on getting all the information you need to get the contacts and so on and so on, and what and so what or not. Now, that is how you can move everyone or every contact from the beginning of a new lead into an appointment and into a trial period, into a membership. And then if someone cancels or if someone did not want to continue as a member, you just simply drag that person into the not sold, and that will mark them as a lost. Or you can mark them into the lost tag in here, will also move them into the same column. So the idea is that you want to make sure you manage this list all the way through from beginning to the end by using the pipeline, and simply by clicking onto the name and using this method of being able to manage all the conversations in here, manage all the emails and conversation back and forth, and then also make sure you're managing the leads correctly by using the conversation tab and also using the opportunity tab. So hopefully that's giving you a bit of an idea, some of the best practices in terms of managing the leads from when they're coming in, how you book an appointment, and then also making sure you are managing the sales call by using these prompts and by selecting the correct product sold and moving on to the next stage of the automation without you having to doing too many manual work. Once all these things are set up in the beginning, it allows you to just do those few key things and key actions to make sure you are able to get the most out of the platform.